Hey everyone, hey, and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host, Tom Quee. Thank you so much for listening. Today we have a very special kind of one-off preview, kind of the first event of a league, you know, which is very exciting, a UK-based league. But before we get into that, I just want to say, please follow us at Battle Rap Resume if you want to get in contact with the show, if you want to request a guest or, you know, praise me or offer me things or critique or whatever. It's, battleresume@gmail.com.
Free stuff, man.
Yeah. I need that free stuff, Cracker. I need it. I'm almost 50 episodes deep now. I feel cheated. But Facebook, like me on Facebook. The show, like the show on Facebook, and you can message me there. And all that good stuff. Really, please subscribe on the YouTube, subscribe on the iTunes. Thank you to everyone for listening. It's been great. But Cracker, Cojay, UKBL. Like this is really exciting, man. And Cracker, I'll start with you. Like, you know, is this something you feel's filling a niche? Is there a kind of gap in the market? Is Don't Flop tapering away from what you really want from this stuff?
To be honest, I think it was about time that a league came through apart from Don't Flop that was actually like taking it seriously. Do you know what I mean? And actually like putting effort into like promotion and putting effort into like the actual events. I'm not saying that other leagues are not putting in effort per se, but it's more like they're not taking it as seriously as I'd say me and Cojay are trying to take it.
And Cojay, I should say, you're here. Are you the proverbial organic, dare I say, the Don't Flop equivalent? Are you the leader of UKBL?
Yeah. I'm the
and it's good to have you on, man, because obviously Cracker I've had on, we did a BRR, check it out, that's kind of hard to say, but yeah, check out our Battle Rap Resume. So Cojay, I was meant to have you on ages ago, but I don't think we'll get it out. I just want to say before our episode, and everybody will do it, your bar for pissing off the captain you sent me to the Briggs, that's one of my favourite bars ever, man.
It was like my opening bar after the joke against Briggsy, right?
Yeah. That first round against Briggsy, fuck, man. That's crazy, that shit. Love that shit, man.
Bro, that battle was as much a surprise to me as it was to the people in that room. I thought going into that battle, I was like, this stuff will just about get me by. Do you know what I mean? And then like it went off, and I was like, actually, I'm doing something right here, and I kind of like went on the path from there, like ups and downs.
Yeah, that was dope. But you know, we'll get onto that in the future. And it's Cojay and Cracker are here for the UKBL, and I'll start, Cojay, by asking, you know, who is the UKBL? Like, it's you and Cracker. Who else is the staff there?
I mean, it's me and Cracker. I got my man Dale iJazz. He's working very hard on the illustration and working with me, closely with me in making the promotional materials. I mean, we've been thinking a lot about branding and coming up with different ideas of how we can push certain events. I mean, we're planning events ahead, so we've got a lot of ideas. He's close knit. I also have another guy who's going to help oversee events with me. His name is Julio Lewis. He goes by Nukes. You'll definitely see him in From the Ashes, helping with co-hosting and helping oversee the entirety of the event. So, but as far as it goes with the core group, it's just me and Cracker really rocking out.
All right, so and I appreciate it's something that'll grow over time, isn't it? As the league progresses, you know, you'll pick up new people. And Cracker, you know, was this something you and Cojay started together? Was this something you came on board later? Was it something you started? Like, what is the genesis?
No, it was. Well, I hadn't seen Cojay in a while, and I saw him at the Red.
I mean, you guys battled, right? So.
Yeah. Well, me and Cojay are actually quite close pals in terms of like battle. Like, I mean, everyone knows each other in battle rap, but like our class Cojay is a pal. Like, we've always been like, he's always held me up, I've always held him up. Like, it's always been love with Cojay. But like, yeah, man. At first, it was just we met each other at the Reading event. We were both supposed to be battling. I didn't get to battle Natural, unfortunately. Cojay battled Innuendo, and the less said about that battle, the better.
What a farewell.
Well, but basically, like he just let me know about the league and like showed me like the draft up card that he had like planned, and I was like, yeah, like this is dope. And then like Cojay was kind of just coming to me like throwing a few matchups at me and stuff, like just talking about the league. And then like he needed an opponent for Oshea, and like he was trying to get people, and he said he couldn't find one for Oshea, and I was like, yo, like if you need me to battle, like I'll battle Oshea if you want. And he was like, yeah, that'll be dope. And then I don't know, it just kind of progressed from there. I was helping him, and like I don't know, like we were just going back and forth with matchups so much that it kind of just made sense for me to be involved. You know what I mean?
I mean, you see it commonly, Cracker, in battle rap, and you see it in football as well, don't you? Players always want to become managers. Is there that urge there, like the battler becoming the league owner?
I mean, it's definitely something that I want to progress with because I've battled so much, and I feel like I've to be honest, like I was a lot more passionate about actually battling in like the era of like 2012 and 2013.
Sure.
And it's not that I'm not passionate about battling anymore, but I think I kind of want to go a different route with it.
Totally.
I mean, I want to try and do stuff. I mean, like this whole time I've been involved in battle rap, all I've ever done is just battle when there's so much to be done. Do you know what I mean? And I'm kind of trying to branch out into other avenues.
Yeah, totally. And Cojay, I mean, you're hosting, so you're a much more kind of visible, integral part of the brand. Is this something you're comfortable with transitioning to that role?
Hey, you know, when I first was coming up with the idea, I was like, nah, there's no way I'm going to be hosting it. I'm just going to, I'm going to run the thing. I'm going to get somebody else to do the hosting. But then I was like, I think I'm more than capable to actually host the thing. Like there was enough people who was like, who's hosting it? Are you hosting it? And they were like, no, you should be hosting it. I was like, you know, I think I'm comfortable to be able to do that. Like I think it would probably come natural to me. Like I've been battling for a while, but like I'm always comfortable like in front of people and publicly doing stuff. So I thought like I could probably pull it off. So yeah, I'm comfortable doing that, and I think it's going to be fun trying out for the first time from the Ashes.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, like you say, I mean, in the ring, you're certainly a very charismatic guy, and if that translates, it'll just give UKBL a bit of a different, you know, kind of vibe to it. Just as King of the Ronalds and Words of Weapons, their hosts endow it with a certain energy, don't they?
Yeah, of course. I mean, everybody who's going to present it is going to present it a little differently. It's just depending on what their personality is. I mean, we have the two extremes. Do you know what I mean? We have the extremes in battle rap. I mean, like Hold Tight Mickey, man. I like Mickey, man, but he's like, you know what I mean? He's the extreme on the other direction of just like he hosts it how he want to host it at that very moment. Do you know what I mean? That's how he wants to do it. He do it like that. And I like that. Do you know what I mean? Every character is going to bring their own thing to battle rap, and I think I'll be able to do the same thing.
Yeah, totally. And, you know, I'll ask this is kind of a slightly pernickety thing to ask perhaps, but I've done so many episodes, I've picked apart so many words and puns that I couldn't help but notice that UKBL is very similar to URL. It's the exact same letters in the same kind of sequence. Was that something you were conscious with, or?
I'll be honest.
That's the first time I've actually thought.
Yeah, it hasn't even come to my mind until then. But I get what you mean. Like it's between the U and L, right?
Yeah.
But what came with the name was, well, I was racking my brain. Like I was coming up with the card for ages. Like I was like, I'll think of the name later. Later. UKBL was actually the like working name. Do you mean it was just like
something to hold there, something you could actually call it while we're trying to find the actual name.
Yeah. Like, it's called the UKBL. You mean it's a battle league, so we'll just call it that for now. And then it was like, well, actually, it could work in terms of it's just what it is. You mean we're being very minimal, very direct, straight to the point. Like you could see that even with the designs we're doing, it's minimal. And I went to Cracker and I was like, look, I've come up with all these names. All these names just sound corny. They just sound like,
what were the names?
Think of all because I don't even remember the things I was coming up with. It was like
word fighters.
I mean, if you look at most battle leagues, they don't. With the name, it's kind of always a bit like, it's probably the hardest thing about it, to find an original name that can actually go down and like actually be respected. Like,
yeah, you don't want no name starting with like lyrical, like this, you know what I mean, bars. This is
I see like lyrical warfare league and stuff.
Poetic Warfare is Woat's fucking league name ever, by the way.
It's like so I thought, look. I went to guy who was like, the first thing I ever came up with that was like, is UKBL. He was like, you know, that could pop. And I was like, fuck it. I just went, fine, that's it. Yeah. We'll just use that because like, and you know what? It's stuck actually. Like since it like, at first I wasn't completely sure about it. Even when I got the logo done, we were like, yeah, it could do for now. But now like at the moment, it's like, it's just really kind of, it's definitely
that's what it is now.
Yeah. You mean it is the UKBL, and a lot of people have kind of felt it and like carried along with it, so it's helped us.
Yeah, it's a good name. I mean, I kind of pointed that out just out of curiosity more than anything, but it is like a certainly catchy sort of definitive name. And you know, before we sort of get deeper into the whole mythos of it, I want to start with the first event. And Cojay, you're interviewed by BattleRap.com. Great interview, and you said that quote, "I know the amount of time and effort that goes into prepping for battles, and I want the work we do presenting the battles to reflect that." And I thought that was a great thing to say, really. And is that the kind of craftsmanship you're coming with?
Well, yeah, I mean, the final product of the battles is like one of the most important things of the event. I mean, we've only booked a small venue. I mean, for several reasons. Obviously, starting out, we want to make sure the venue's got enough people in it. I mean, we want to, but also because I want a kind of a controlled environment where we don't have to, at least initially, start worrying about mic issues. We don't have to start worrying about acoustics. We have a good room with good sound. We can set up lighting ourselves for it. We can actually make it look a bit more like a movie. But the people we have on the project are actually a production company, an indie production company that are trying to do this or do this as a profession. And the way that they approach projects is very professional. So we're really trying to make the quality of these battles just a bit higher than it has been. And it's definitely able to be done, and I think at this point a lot of fans are after it, so that's what we're going to try and do.
That's really exciting, man, especially that you've got kind of an independent company coming in who clearly know what the fuck they're doing. So that's just that is insanely exciting. I mean, anyone that's sort of been to university or affiliated people know that anyone of that age is so good at filming, but they never seem to get an opportunity. And I'm not saying they're kind of graduates, but you know what I mean, like those kind of slightly lesser known. It's not just the bloke behind the camera or whatever who eventually might come good, but the fact that you've got a team behind it, and you're innovating all over the place here. And I don't want to speak over the top here just because you're guests, but the judging system that you're implementing, potentially, if this is a success, it could legitimately change the scene forever.
Oh, it's got the potential to completely change the landscape of battle rap, in my opinion.
Yeah, completely. If this is a success, everyone will watch it who loves battling all over the world and think, oh, this is great. And anyone that implements it will be like, oh, you're UKBL style judging then, and then fucking Summer Madness 7 does it. You know what I mean? Maybe, this is wide-eyed thinking here, Cojay, and, but I felt this when I heard about it. I felt like this could be a real paradigm shift.
Yeah. Well, like I thought a lot about it because when I was first speaking to Chris from Hip Hop DX, the editor manager of Hip Hop DX, used to be BattleRap.com. He said, "Give it 6 months, all the leagues will have taken it." And I was like, well, if you think about it, in the way that we're trying to implement it, which is not just having the app for people to be able to vote in the room, which is obviously a huge part of it, but then the results of that, so the final results becoming a leaderboard on the website, and a leaderboard that is effectively the resume of the battler, and each individual battler couldn't be implemented in the same way in other leagues who have been running promo battles for the last 4 years. True. Do you mean that there would be no way of accurately showing who's done what, who's won what? So it would be too difficult to implement it in that way. If they decided to take the whole app thing, then I suppose it would be flattering that the UKBL put a kind of a stamp on the scene in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, okay. So talk me through how it actually works. Then you and Cojay are battling on stage. I'm in the audience watching. The battle ends. What's next?
Okay, well, my original plan, which may be the plan that we continue going forward with, because I'm still working very closely with the software developer and how we're going to run it live. But I want it to be like a short break between each battle, to be able to give the people time to maybe talk amongst themselves, decide. Actually have time to decide. When we're doing the voting, it won't be just a case of vote for X, vote for X. We actually have an additional system, which is a voting out of 10 per round. So you'll actually be voting for each round and marking that, and that will add to the battlers' points as well as the wins that they have.
That's great, man.
Just as the leaderboards.
Yeah, that's really nice addition. Like, obviously, it's on the proviso that this works, but I don't really. I remember going actually to the Fringe a few years ago and watching a show that was kind of like a choose your own adventure show, and that had the same sort of thing where you had a controller and it linked to a screen, and you would vote every 10 minutes, and it would show. And what is it? I'm visualizing the 50-50. No, that's the audience graphics on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah.
Did it work well at the Fringe?
Yeah, very well. Very well. It was pretty much instantaneous, and it was one of 4 choices each time, and that would lead to a new kind of scene. So yeah, I mean, like, I'm not just saying it for flattery. This is really, as someone who loves battling, this is a really exciting new way of doing it.
I think it involves people and makes people want to actually come to the events more, because it's like they are actually defining like the results of who beat who with these big matchups. Like further down the line, we're going to continue having strong cards and try and keep the standards at the standard that we've set with the first event. And so people will be involved in these battles, in these Tony D battles, in these Oshea battles, in these Matter battles. You mean they'll be able to have a chance to say who did take that, who actually did take it, not just 5 battlers that might be friends with one of them. Do you know what I'm saying?
And before we did this episode, I just asked on Twitter if people had any questions for you, because obviously a lot of people are excited like me about this league and are just curious. You have done the battlerap.com articles you mentioned, which people should definitely read and check out. But one of the questions that someone asked in reference to the voting system, do you have a way of stopping people cheating, like using their mates or any sort of that? Like I know that's something you learn with time and it's hard to answer before the first event, but have you considered that?
Of course, I've considered. I mean, there's the idea that a battler is going to be able to take or going to try and take enough friends in to try and swing a vote. It kind of sort of like that with the people. Like I know all these battlers personally. Do you know what I mean? Like I can't imagine someone like, do you know what I mean, one of these battlers going, getting a group of like 15 friends to come with
made sure with like the UKBL as well that we booked some like good peoples, if you know what I mean. Like not only good battlers, but people that we know in the scene and people we're actually friendly with. You know what I mean?
People who we kind of
like that we can trust. Really.
Yeah, exactly. So that we can trust to want to carry and understand where we're going with it. I want to go that direction as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And so exciting to see how it develops. But if it does go on to change the entire world of battle rap, referring to this episode because we spoke about it kind of before it.
Yeah.
Before a little time capsule. But it's hard to ignore, Cojay, the kind of blatant dig of the event name.
Okay, yeah, From the Ashes. You know where I actually got that from? The name of From the Ashes. It was actually a comment on one of my battles.
Not to be egotistic.
Bro, it's like, that's the truth. That's where it came from. It just popped in my head, and I was like, that would be hot. Do you know what I mean? I was like, sure. It was like,
I like the event name.
Yeah, I think it's dope. I mean, it also like has the like From the Ashes was born this. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I feel like it resonates with me, and it resonates with a lot of people, and it also helped with the theme. It's got very like dark but like edgy theme to it, so I run with it. Do you know what I mean? Just it's stuck in my head, and I run with it.
And you'll no longer Don't Flop, Cojay?
I'm no longer Don't Flop. No, I don't battle for them anymore. Nah.
I suppose it doesn't really make sense, does it? If you got your own league, it's kind of shooting yourself in the foot. But regardless, man. So From the Ashes then is more about kind of what this is completely a rebirth for you in terms of tone of a league. Like you said that you're trying to go for more of a top tier league. Is that another flaw of Don't Flop you found that the mid tier have kind of filled the cracks in? It's
not as certain a top tier league, but it's just because what people kind of their perception of what top tier is kind of different. It's not in terms of like the kind of matchups we have. We're not just putting like big name versus big name, big name versus big, like it's more this works, and both these guys are talented guys. Do you mean they're talented people? So we have a lot of that's been happening recently in the scene as a whole. We've been letting a lot of people in who don't really, I don't know, they don't really have the grasp of battle rap. They're just kind of filling in everywhere, and it's not really giving the people who are actually good the chance to shine. Like I was speaking to someone who said they follow battle rap, but they follow battle rap loosely, not like a very, very like diehard fan that knows every battle. Do you mean they watch Shoddy Horror versus Tony D? Do you know what I'm saying? And they just said that, like, I was speaking to them about how like Gemini and Shocks, they're crazy battlers, and they're like, oh well, like I wouldn't have watched them because I didn't already know their name. And there's so many other new guys who aren't really hitting that caliber that I'm not going to watch a new guy because I immediately think that it's not going to be of that level. And so many people are being overlooked. And like, if there's a platform where every time you see someone, that person is talented enough to be there, then you're gonna watch a new name. Do you mean you're gonna watch a new name and you're gonna say, oh yeah, he's good too because he's with the other good guys. Do you mean?
Yeah, totally. I mean, the same way almost. Well, not so much now, but a few years ago, like the URL PGs. Like if a PG battle come out, you'd be like, okay, it's kind of must be kind of worth watching. Like, you know, you can put faith in the brand, and I think, you know, that's definitely what we're doing. So are you going to be bringing in your own talent as well?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's the only way to continuous longevity. We want to bring new names in, but we don't want to. We want new rappers, people you literally haven't seen before. Not like have had a few battles here or have a few battles. We want to find some people who maybe haven't considered battling before or who have watched battles and thought, oh, maybe I'll try. But we want to convince some brand new rappers to come to the league.
That's where some of the best battlers come from, in my opinion. People that rapped before and just never really thought of battling, and then somehow got involved in the scene and became. I mean, that's how Gemini came about. I knew about Gemini's music, and I knew Gemini way before he was battling. Shock Sano did a lot of rapping before, and singing as well. He made a lot of music before he came. So yeah, man, I think that's why we're just kind of looking for dope rappers and people that do good stuff outside of battle rap that maybe haven't considered battle rap as an option.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I don't mean to sound naive, but, you know, you go through the SBTV and Link Up TV, and there's always great rappers that are kind of, oh, who's this guy? And it's kind of like, yeah, what a tenth of them just try battle rap. Like, you know what I mean? People that are really, really, like, nice. Like, people are genuinely, you know, as you say.
I mean, like, there is the argument that battle rap has changed a lot from rapping, and that's true. I mean, the art of battle rap has definitely now become entirely its own thing. But the people who have their roots in rap, you can tell. You can almost immediately tell someone who's like obviously you have your people who are like the outstanding ones, like Shuffle T, who doesn't hit a track but completely like destroys it. I mean, he's really, really quality battler, and Marlo as well. Very, very good battlers. But it's not the people who have their roots in rap almost immediately from their tryouts, like Gemini, amazing tryout, Shocks, amazing tryout. I mean, the people who have their roots in rap already have a bearing of how to do this.
Even going as far back as people like Shotty.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, we'll get on to I mean, I'm hyped just talking about the company, to be honest, but the card is amazing, I have to say. The card is literally one of the best cards on paper of the year. Pretty much every battle is, I think kind of, it's crucial, like you guys saying, you want to put matches on that people want to see, people are excited for, and all of these Cracker, they feel like they got a fan's touch on them, don't they?
Yeah, man, for sure.
It's a pleasure. Look, they look great, and we'll start off with A versus Templar Surfer Kid Cojay. This is an interesting one.
I'll tell you, I've got to actually. This matchup is being replaced, and I'll say it. This is the first time I'm saying it. This matchup is being replaced because of Templar Surfer. Templar Surfer, due to new circumstances, can no longer attend the event. So we're going to be replacing him. We have a few names. It's going to be a battle of the same caliber. We're going to make sure it's definitely a battle.
A is still battling.
Yeah. A is definitely still battling, and we're working hard to find him his new opponent that is going to be suitable for the event. But unfortunately, we couldn't have Templar still at the event.
And A was someone that you just had to have involved, right?
Oh, of course. A was always going to be involved, and fortunately for us, he was always ready to be involved. He's always wanted to.
Excited that he's kind of the guy or part of the battle that kicks off UKBL as well.
Yeah. I mean, he was the first announcement, really. So, I mean, I've always been a fan of A. From his tryout, I was a fan of A. He's been very good, and he's also a rapper. I mean, he had his roots in rap before he came to battle.
I feel like he also gets better with every battle. Like I always wanted to see more of A. Because he came through, but he consistently improves, I think, and I can't wait to see him just keep battling.
He's very slyly and very almost undercovers not lost a battle. He's 5-0. I mean, as a battle rapper, being 5-0 and not really anyone talking about it is pretty slept on, but he's very good, and I think he can work in a capacity of opponents too. He's got a very versatile style, so we have a few ideas for who he can go against. But yeah, that battle will be announced soon, within the week.
Oh, excellent. And someone that I'm really happy to see returning to the fold, Old English. Was he someone who was keen to get back battling?
I'll tell you what, Old English was not keen to get back into battling at all.
Right.
Initially, I wanted him involved in the card earlier in the process, and he didn't have it in him to want to take a battle. He didn't really feel like there was any matchup he wanted to do. And later down the line, when I was trying to book another battle, I knew I wanted Joker Starr on the card, and it was actually Joker Starr who suggested Old English, and apparently they'd had a back and forth about they'd do a battle in 2020 for X amount of years, and Old English immediately wanted to take the battle, and we just locked it in straight away. So I have big hopes for this battle, because both of them seem very, very inspired to do the battle. So I'm looking forward to that one. It's one of my personal favorites, actually. I'm a big fan of Joker. I'm a real big fan of Old, so I think that's going to go off.
Yeah, that's just a great clash of just some sort of don't flop, I guess sort of older, OGs, I guess, to a certain extent, and beautiful. Really, really, like Old English, especially Cracker, you guys had a great battle.
Yeah. He was one of my first opponents. I think it was like my third battle.
Yeah,
man. And I fucks with Joker Starr as well. Joker Starr is hard, like sick rapper.
Yeah.
And both good peoples as well. Both really good, both people that I just enjoy having around at events.
Yeah, totally. It's going to be great to see them back, especially Old English has been away for a little while, and that's going to be awesome. Now, Cojay, Pedro versus Juan, that is a fucking that is a huge match.
Yeah, that battle is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that battle, and I'm very, very happy we managed to lock it down, because there was a short period of time where it may not have happened, but like when it was locked down, I was excited, because that battle it's an instant classic in my opinion. I mean, with both their styles, when like I haven't really seen a Juan that I haven't felt was on form in some way, so like they're going to really go off. Their styles clashing is going to be a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, who'd you see winning this, Cojay?
I mean, like,
Juan is unbeatable.
Juan is unbeatable, but Pedro is unbeatable. You know what I'm saying?
Like, this is why it's going to be a classic match, isn't it? Yeah, you've just got that unbeatables just going up against each other.
I don't know. I think I can't talk for him, but I think Juan would go for something like obviously trying to break him down, trying to break
assassination.
Trying to break that whole.
But that's what Juan's good at. Like, he's probably one of the best at that.
Does that work?
But then Pedro. This is what I'm going to say. Pedro will come back and completely negate it by having some crazy 4-bar multi scheme that
obviously this is all just hypothetical.
Of course. Exactly. But I have high hopes for this battle, because I don't see it how it could possibly be anything but great.
That's so true. Both are incredibly reliable, and I think together the combustion is going to be mad. And Cracker, so cool to see you battling Oshea. I mentioned this prior, but this is a huge battle.
It's a huge battle for me, to be 100% honest. I mean, I thought I was done with battle rap for just a little while. I was thinking maybe especially a cappella battle rap. I was thinking more of just doing a lot of on-beat battles from now and then trying to make a bit more music. But I don't know, boy. When Cojay said he needed an opponent for Oshea, and obviously he's one of the first people that I ever started watching on this shit. So I had to kind of just say, I'll battle Oshea. I'll do that.
I mean, it's just crazy, isn't it? Like, it must be one of those rare honors in life to have Oshea spit 3 rounds at you. It's just great.
I'm sure a lot of people feel like that when they're in front of him. Obviously, I'm going to try and fucking take his head off, to be 100% honest with you. It's going to be an honor, but it's going to be an honor to try and body him as well, because I've got to try and do that shit, man. I've got to find the right way to fucking to kill off Oshea, ex-champ.
Yeah, no, totally. That is going to be fucking awesome match. And Cojay, a match that I don't think anyone in a million years would put on paper, but when you see it, you're like, that's going to be dope. Tali versus Matter.
Hey, Tali versus Matter. Well, I'll tell you, we were looking for a London MC for Matter, because I wanted Matter on the card 100%. And there were a few ideas I had for the Matter battle that could have happened. But I think it's just, if you look at the contrast of the styles, I mean, you got like Matter, who I think, in my opinion, is pretty underrated as a battler. I mean, if you look at his resume, he has an excellent resume, and he's got a great like balance of being able to actually hit you with a bar and then clown on you the next second. I mean, he's very good at doing that. But then having the contrast of Tali's super performance, do you mean he's like a very strong performer and has like a lot of character. I think it's a very like it seems like a clash of styles, but it's one that kind of fits, and that's why I like the matchup and like one we managed to lock down.
Yeah, yeah, that is.
Tali is like very, even though he's like quite highly rated, I still feel like he's underrated. Like in my opinion, like bar for bar and like rap ability and style, delivery, presence.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, this might sound a bit weird, but I think like if it wasn't for like maybe him ducking a few battles and not battling for a while, he'd be up for a title shot. Because I think if Shocks is up for a title shot, which I think is absolutely cool, I'm a big fan of Shocks, but I see Tali as similar levels.
But to Shocks?
Maybe that's the thing. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, Tali is dope. Don't get me wrong.
That's what I'm saying. That's just my opinion.
No. But you are right though. Like, if Tali was like punching a bit harder, like in terms of just taking the better battles and stuff, like this battle, I think this battle could just set him on the map. Definitely. Like, this could be a great clash. And another one, you guys, like, this card is just like exhaustingly brilliant. Like, it's just crazy, the quality. Really, we're getting to Villun versus Rivers, Cojay. That's mouth-watering, right? I mean, that's mad.
Villun versus Rivers is gonna be fucking crazy. I know I'm saying this to every battle now.
No, you're right, man.
But like,
it's a good card.
It's all for different reasons. Like, for this is gonna be levels. Like, if you want to hear bars, like, these two are some of the craziest, most abstract writers in the game. Like, Rivers is slept on. Obviously, he's not getting like as big the matches. I mean, he had his him and Fura versus Tony and Locke.
Yeah.
But for some reason that happened in Manchester. It did.
Good battle,
It didn't like blow up as a battle though for him and Rivers. But it was his like a big shot for Rivers too, and I think like Rivers, and Fura was sick. Like, but like Rivers is a very, very good writer, and him to on his tryout, I think, have one of the best performances of the event. I was in the room when he was battling Quack. Like,
I was there too.
Some of the stuff he was saying, I was like, whoa, would I be able to stand in front of that? Do you mean like if I wasn't prepared for that? So, and obviously we all know Villun. Villun is like classic. Crazy. I mean, he's had amazing moments, taking down some like. I mean,
some big battles.
Yeah. Seriously, had
gotta
like
throw some respect on Villun's name.
Yeah, he was a crazy writer in the game, and like both of them like squaring off is just gonna be. It's gonna be bars, man. Like I couldn't tell you who would take it because I don't know what their approaches are going to be. They both will have to have very specific approaches to take the win here. Do you know what I mean?
No, I mean, can't add anything really. You guys summed it up perfectly. It's going to be a brilliant match. Can't wait for that. And top of the card, I mean, Cojay, like not a lot of people. I've seen a few people saying like, "Oh, you're the league guy, giving yourself Tony D." But to be honest with you, in my eyes, it is deserved. You are good enough. This will be a great match.
I mean, it'd be a great battle. I mean, it wasn't the battle that was supposed to happen.
Oh,
but it's like I'm battling Tony, like finding a matchup for Tony D when you haven't had an event yet is a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah,
like anyone who would be capable of battling Tony, and I'm not like in a sense, or be able to headline an event against Tony D. Is either already battled him or doesn't want to waste or in their case waste a battle on a platform that they don't know is going to be successful, and that's understandable. Yeah. I mean, you're taking a risk by doing that. So I was actually had another matchup on this card, and I spent a lot of time trying to find an opponent for Tony D before I decided to take the match. But I am obviously going to treat it like the biggest matchup that I've ever had because it's the biggest matchup that I've ever had. So it would, I can guarantee a good performance from me, the best performance I've ever had from me. I'm going to give that battle my all. Tony is no joke. I still haven't seen him versus Shocks. I know people are saying that's a very debatable battle, but they both went in, and so I'm gonna have to be prepared for Tony D being Tony D. It'd be a new challenge for me. So, but I'll make the battle hot. It would be a good battle.
Yeah, exactly. You are the kind of emblem of the league, and the fact that the crowning jewel of the card is you versus Tony D just gives you an opportunity to show out. And no doubt this is going to be classic. How did you get Tony? Was Tony just willing to do it, or?
I mean, Tony, it was one of the easiest to get on board. I mean, he's a reasonable guy. Do you know what I mean?
Great guy.
Cool. We've always been cool. Obviously, I had him on board whilst we were looking for a match for him. So he's
just been a freelancer this year. He's just doing every single league. Like, he just loves it.
Yeah, Gemini mentioned on a status, he said, Tony, this is his year. He just battled Templar on GOTG, battled Dialect on KOTR. He's on battling Pat Stay on Don't Flop, and then battling me on UKBL. He's been everywhere, completely the all-rounder.
It's so cool to see, he's at a level where he's basically considered the best, but he's just still not slacking. He's still just putting in crazy work and killing every battle. He's a robot, bro. He's actually a robot. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, if this was a sport, this year's kind of the classic season, isn't it, of Tony D? It's just vintage. How the fuck is he the best of his career and 6 years, 7 years deep into battling? It's unfathomable. Yeah. The guy's imagination for punches is just
off the chain.
It's crazy. It got me a little scared, to be honest.
And it's crazy that he's been rapping for so long as well, and he still managed to come out with new shit for every opponent.
Great shit.
It's annoying, man. fuck that guy, man.
Cracker, I'll ask you selfishly, any chance you convince C Major to battle on UKBL?
We was talking about this earlier. Who knows? I was saying, I know C's not up for battling really at the moment. So if he did battle, it would have to be a lucrative offer per se. But there's been obviously times in the past where C Major has wanted to battle and he hasn't wanted to battle. So I think there's still maybe a chance that maybe one day he might want to get back into battle rap.
But I mean, at the end of the day, when you got something like 10,000 hours out, which is just, it's mind blowing, isn't it? It's so fucking good.
Yeah, I feel like I'm biased every time I talk about it. But yeah, it's crazy. I'm still banging it out.
Yeah. No. Everyone needs to go download it, and everyone needs to, go to UKBL. Cojay, how do they get tickets? Tickets still selling? Are they?
Yeah, they're still selling. I think we may. I don't know. I haven't actually checked, but we may have a few early bird tickets still available. I think we may have 3 or 4. It's at ukbl.co.uk/tickets, man.
Right. And in terms of social media, how do they follow you? That sort of stuff?
All at the UKBL. So on the Twitter and Instagram at the UKBL, on the Facebook.com/the UKBL. We don't have our YouTube channel up yet. That won't be up until we have our first release. And we won't be releasing a pay-per-view for this event specifically, so we can get people to embrace the new YouTube channel and kind of build the buzz around that. So
yeah, sure, man. No, I will definitely aid in building that buzz. I'm so excited both for the innovations, and it's just cool to see 2 huge battlers doing their own thing, man. Very exciting.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
A huge battler.
You were 2-on-2 champ, man.
Yeah,
glory days.
Champs battling each other. Fire.
Yeah. Oh shit! I never see it that way.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, guys, thanks so much. This has been great.
Awesome, Tom. Always good to speak to you, man.